Hey, hold on. Are you going to pop that bottle?
Yes.
Because I just read that 9 people a year die from doing that.
I know what I'm doing.
Well, don't point it towards me.
You do it right. You don't let the thing go everywhere.
Why?
You hold
Don't
on
waste,
to
don't
it.
waste, don't waste.
Dude, you're supposed to let it fly and kill somebody.
No, that's the whole point.
Oh.
If you're supposed to hold on to it so it doesn't go anywhere.
Surprise shots, surprise shots. We don't know what they are because they're a surprise.
Cheers. Ooh, what was at the bottom there?
It was pucker, apple pucker, and raspberry vodka.
Oh, man. That raspberry vodka at the end felt really strong.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Nicole. Cheers. Welcome to Talk Murder Me. We are on Google Earth right now. And
Can we tell them that you're finally doing the story that I have been requesting for the last 4 years?
no one knows what this story is. So let's just, yeah, you can, but there's people in here that don't know what we're doing.
That's fine. That's all I'm going to say.
But she's excited because you're finally doing something she's been asking for.
This is part of my birthday present.
Oh no, we're not doing that one.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Me what? Me what?
Wait, so do I get a story on my birthday?
Gent.
Let's not press our luck
I
here,
don't know.
Jen. I'm married to him.
I got to tell a story on my birthday last time.
Maybe if you show up on time.
You know what? Today was not a regularly scheduled programming day.
And you also said,
So-
don't worry about the time. Just get here when you get here. And also, I was getting your wife's birthday gift because I didn't.
Yeah, my wife is a woman. Whatever, Jen. I don't have to put up with your shit.
But you do because you love me.
Tonight we're going here, and I'm on Google Earth now. I'll put all these photos on talkmurder.com. This is where we're going to tonight. What is this, Nicole? What does it look like?
This looks like California.
This is California.
Beverly Hills.
It looked like a mansion. Oh, that's the 10.
That's the what? Oh, I-10.
The 10. They call it like that's what they always say over in California. They put the in front of the highway. Instead of
we
being
have,
like hop on 95, they'd be like hop on the 95.
So this is 1700 Grandview Drive in Alba something? Hold on.
Turkey?
No, it's like Alabama.
Alabama?
Alhambra.
Alhambra.
Is that right? Alhambra?
Alhambra. It looks like a Red Roof Inn.
This house has 33 rooms and a sex dungeon, which doesn't count as a room.
Literally, there's a sex. Are you like making a joke?
All rich people have sex dungeons. We talked about this.
They're not called sex dungeons anymore. They're called sex rooms. There's even a show on Netflix about it, how to build a sex room.
I didn't watch the show, but I saw that there was a show.
I watched
and I was
a couple
like,
episodes.
Of course, this is a thing.
I did watch a couple of
Because
episodes.
just because like a couple of people read 50 fucking Shades of Grey, now everybody is weird.
It's
and
called
kinky.
it's called 50 Shades of Rape.
I think
That was in a Bill Burr comedy sketch.
50 Shades of Rape.
I mean, fucking accurate though. Like,
I went to see it with my mom.
oh, that's a
No,
weird
you
one
did
to see
not.
with your mom.
The first one.
You did
Yeah.
not.
Yes, I did.
We went on, I think it was on Valentine's
weird.
Day.
It's better than going to see it with my father.
I mean,
Slightly,
is it?
but not much better.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay, for you, much better. But
Jackie's chill.
Jesus Christ.
I will say, one time I saw that my mom had the book 50 Shades of Grey, and I was like, oh no, mom.
My
it's
mom-
okay if I read this as a 20-year-old. It's not okay if you read this
My
as
mom
a 55-year-old.
read all three of them. My mom read all three of them. In fact, it was the first year that I was working at my second job that was actually my primary job.
And did she like buy them there?
She was like, do you have these books? And I was like,
Can I get them at discount?
Why is this one, the page is stuck together? Tonight, we're going to February 3rd, 2003, 1700 South Grandview in Alhambra, California. This is a mansion, but it's not in Beverly Hills or anything because while this is a celebrity, he's kind of washed out. 1700 South Grandview, February 3rd, 2003. I'm actually starting the story with the driver, the chauffeur for a famous celebrity who lived in this house. Now, I'll tell you the whole night here. We're going to go through bar to bar to bar because this guy loves partying and drinking, and the chauffeur drives him and some other women all across town. The best Hollywood spots you can think of. And we'll actually go to all of them on the Google Earth if you want. But after that, I'm starting this story here at 4:55 a.m. The chauffeur, his name is Adriano de Sousa. He is
Adriano de Sousa?
Adriano de Sousa. Jen, you know this story?
No, but I
But
live
you
in Portuguese nation back home.
So this guy is a highly competent ex-military officer, but he's now a chauffeur. But he drives this famous celebrity around and he makes good money. He is sitting in his limousine at the house because that's what he does. He's paid for for the whole night, even if the celebrity goes to bed or whatever. He's paid a certain amount of time. He's got to stay there. So he is just sitting in his car, sitting in the chauffeur limousine, and it is 4:55 a.m. and he hears a loud bang. Bang, 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 bang. Someone's getting bang. Boom, chaboom, kaboom, pow.
Zap.
Zap. He hears this loud bang, bow. And he actually said first that it was a quote boom, but it was actually a gunshot. He hears this gunshot. It came from inside the house. Now, this man since he's ex-military, he knows exactly what happened. He knows a gun was discharged and it came from inside the residence. However, fearing for his own safety, he opens his door and stands by his car, looking around, kind of securing the area, making sure that, someone's not running with a gun or whatever. And he is just leaning on the car. And he does that for 5 minutes. Then when he starts to walk towards the door to check on the celebrity that he's been driving around, that celebrity comes out of the house and he is in his nightgown and he has a pistol in his hand. Now, if you guys don't know, the celebrity that this man was driving around all night was who? Nicole, this is your story.
Phil Spector. And we are covering this case because, can I say?
I know why.
So he's a music producer. This is all, I've only asked you to do this case because as a child growing up, my dad had the 6-disc CD changer, those, and it was A Very Special Christmas, A Very Special Christmas 2, A Very Special Christmas 3. This album, I'm giving you the exact effing order of these. This album, which I think it was
Phil Spector Christmas.
Yeah, My Christmas to You maybe was the name of it.
The one with the blue album with the ronettes on the front?
White. And it was white cover, but it had the ronettes, the crystals, Darlene Love, Bobby Socks, and the blue jeans. And it was red and green text, I remember. And then it also, the other last two, it was the Beach Boys Christmas album. And the last one was, it was
Demento.
No, it was a rock and roll Christmas album. And it had Elton John Step Into Christmas. It had a whole bunch of others. It was very a rock and roll Christmas theme for the most part. So this album is one that I had listened to, it is ingrained in my memory, and it's when I want to listen to Christmas music, it is one of the first albums I will put on. Darlene Love is the original Queen of Christmas, Mariah. And so when I've heard that he had murdered someone and was in jail,
jumping to conclusions.
but this is all I know. I was like, how can we not cover this case so I can learn more about this?
I mean, he could be a great guy.
So at the very last song on the album, he speaks and it's Silent Night, whatever. And he talks and it's thanks everybody for listening to this album, blah, 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 blah. So it's normally whoever produces an album, I don't know who the F they are, but I remember his name is on the album and he had a speaking role in the last song of that album.
If you don't know who this clown is, this is the clown right here we're talking about tonight.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
It's that time that I accidentally was trying to change a faceplate on the light switch.
I just don't know why he thought that looked good.
It looks terrible. He looks like a fucking idiot.
He looks like a child was drawing a picture and said, "Give me curly hair," and he drew curly hair.
This chauffeur, he hears this loud bang and the door opens up 5 minutes later. So this is 5 a.m. Now, everything I'm going to tell you, these little details are important, as you'll see why, especially what the chauffeur says and what he hears Phil Spector say. It is incredibly important. The door opens up, the back door. Phil Spector is standing there, and we're going to go over who this guy is and his whole thing. So don't worry about that. Just know that he's a music genius, I guess, from what people think. He is standing there in his nightgown. He has a gun in his hand. That gun is bloody. There is blood on his hands. This is the testimony from the chauffeur. Phil Spector says out loud to the chauffeur the following exact quote: "I think I killed somebody," end quote. The reason it's so important, the wordage and stuff there, is because that is going to be heavily debated about what was actually said. As I told you before, this chauffeur is a Brazilian immigrant, so that's going to kind of muddy the waters. Anyway, it is now 5 a.m. He opens the door, blood on his hand. Now, the chauffeur can actually look past Phil Spector and see a woman's body laying there, and he only saw the legs of this woman. Most likely, it was the woman that he took home with Phil Spector that night, which we're going to talk about. But that's all he saw. And the blood on Phil's hands, he says, quote, "I think I killed somebody." So I was trying to find a good book. I did not care about this guy's biography. I didn't want to get bogged down in this dude's biography. But I did find a really good book about the murder specifically. And it's actually told by the forensic pathologist. This is what Nicole's reading from here. The book is called Shocking Cases from Dr. Henry Lee's Forensic Files, the Phil Spector case. So this book right here, this man, Dr. Henry Lee, was the one who examined this dead woman. So these are his words. Now, Nicole's going to be reading his words and some of the police report and stuff like that.
R. Souza saw that there was blood on the left side of the victim's face and ran back to the vehicle. R. Souza drove down the driveway and out the front gates and dialed 911 on his cell phone.
So the R is R-Souza. That stands for, the R stands for reporting party. So that's how they would write it up. R, the reporting party, ba-da-da. So that's how it's written up. Thought it was kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, there is a dead woman here in Phil Spector's mansion.
That doesn't look good.
And he comes out and he says, "I think I killed somebody," and there's blood all over him and there's blood on the gun. All right. Now we're going to go to the night before, leading up to this murder or suicide or whatever it was, this loud bang. We don't know what it is. We haven't even seen the body yet. We're going to actually go through the body and all that stuff here in a minute, but let's kind of go back a little bit and let's travel back about 6 hours and see how we got here. The chauffeur, De Sousa, he started his workday at 1900 hours, which is
7 p.m.
That is something I'm just not good at. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't do military
Why are you
time.
laughing?
Because it's just something I'm not good at. For all my smarts,
It
just
is
military time, I don't
It is the
understand.
best way to tell time. You never have to, is it PM or AM? You always know. Anyway, all right.
Just add the AM or PM. I don't fucking know what to tell you.
At 1900 hours, which is 7 p.m., De Sousa starts his day at work. He's a chauffeur for Phil Spector, the musical producer that was big. Anyway, he drives this man and several of his guests to different places all across Hollywood. First, they went to the Grill on the Alley. He went there to meet his friend Rumi Davis. So first he goes here, and if you're watching our live stream, you can see we're going here. The Grill on the Alley, which is probably something that we can't afford. A little restaurant here.
Oh, yeah.
So he goes there. He starts his night there. He meets a friend, Rumi Davis.
That almost looks like the same restaurant that we went to where the
The
killer-
chef?
Yeah.
Dude, I was just thinking that, honestly. Yeah, I literally was thinking that. The chef that cooked his wife. I don't know why. It does kind of look like that for some reason. The one that Natasha ate there.
Yep.
Like she ate the remains of that guy's wife.
Yep.
Yeah, and now she's trying to say that she never went there, but she actually consumed some of the sauces that were mixed with woman. Okay, he starts here. He meets his friend Rumi Davis. This is the Grill on the Alley. After that, now the chauffeur waits outside. I don't know. I never had a chauffeur. That would be fucking. We should get one for the night. I don't know. Fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, then he goes to the place called Trader Vic's.
Like Trader Joe's,
yeah,
but his cousin.
Trader
His
Vic's.
Cholo cousin.
So let's see how far this is from it. So it goes all the way. Jesus Christ. No, that can't be. There's no way he went all the way the fuck over there.
Well, maybe it's far.
Yeah, Polynesian restaurant. That's it. Yeah, because I put a
Cool.
Polynesian themed restaurant. in Beverly Hilton. I was like, Beverly Hilton?
Wow.
What the fuck is that?
It's in the hotel.
Oh, that makes sense. So after damn, that is a long fucking drive.
That's a big hotel too.
But then
but in California, that's not that far of a drive. Like everything, it takes so long to get everywhere because it's such a big
traffic.
State.
And he's in a limousine too. So like the party is in the limousine too. You know what I'm saying? So he's driving.
The chauffeur's
yeah, he's getting driven around. Now this is all one night. I mean, can you imagine? This guy's like spending thousands of dollars. All right. After that, he goes to Dana Tana's. So this is on St. Monica. Let's see how far this one is.
Dantana?
Good Lord. He drives back.
All the way back to Santa Monica.
Jesus Christ. That's a lot of mileage on that limousine.
A lot of traffic, I'm sure. Even if it's actually probably 15 minutes away, it's probably an hour with traffic over there.
And who goes to 3 fucking restaurants?
Maybe he was hungry. Maybe there was a long wait and he didn't want to go there.
You want your cocktails at the Polynesian place. You want your dinner at the, what was it?
Italian.
The Italian. Absolutely. I want some spaghetti and meatballs. And then you go to dessert and after dinner drinks at another restaurant.
So
this is totally plausible if you had a shit ton of money and all the time in the world.
So most people like us, we do this thing called pre-gaming.
Shots.
We drink here and then bring a flask into the bar.
Yeah. They also make bracelets now for women. That's like
I have one. Tara gave me one for my birthday.
There you go.
After Dana,
it's kind of chunky, but it's nice.
This whole thing started at 7:00 p.m. So now
Eastern Standard Time or Pacific?
So now it is around midnight, and
minus 12.
They're at Dana Tana's in West Hollywood, and then the chauffeur picks up Phil Spector and a woman, Lana, from what he said, a quote, a tall, beautiful woman, end quote, and he takes them to House of Blues, which is a nightclub in Hollywood. So
we've been to a House of Blues when we went to go see
Jimmy World.
Yeah, so this is pretty close to his house, I think. So he drives all the way back over. Jesus fucking hell, man. Is that not a long fucking way?
It looks far. It does look far. I mean, this is definitely not a direct route.
Another reason why I shall never live in California. Everything's so far away.
I mean, that's a busy fucking night. He's been to 3 restaurants and 1 bar. I mean, is that not a...
It's a lot, but for someone that is living that lifestyle, totally feasible.
Okay, so I misspoke.
For us, it's like, I'm literally like, oh my God, I gotta pick up my food for dinner. This is like,
what's in gin? Okay. All right, let me make this clear because I kind of misspoke a little bit. Lana, this tall, beautiful woman, was at the House of Blues. So the chauffeur is going to take both of them. Now, Phil Spector doesn't know this woman. She's just there and they meet. You know, he's got the hair and the coke. So anyway, they get back into the chauffeur's car, the limousine, and then they drive back to the estate, right? Let's see where that shit's at compared to where this is. So here we go. Jesus. Wow. And then they're back here. So that was at 2 a.m. when they left the House of Blues. So that was a long fucking night. I'm exhausted from doing that.
Yeah, it's like it's time for bed.
What a commute. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Man, sitting in the car puts me to sleep. I'm exhausted just looking at the Google Maps.
I fall asleep in the car like nobody's business.
Hopefully not while you're driving.
Well, there has been a time.
Oh,
At 3 a.m., they arrived at the estate in Grandview, and the chauffeur, like always, the routine is he pulls around back the car. He lets Phil Spector and whoever's in the car. This night it was a woman named Lana Clarkson, and they go out. You know, he opens the door. Good evening, sir. You know, go bang or whatever. They walk into the house, and then the chauffeur gets back into the car, and it's very specific because this guy is very demanding. So the chauffeur then pulls around the back of the mansion, and he waits there for exactly 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Not 19.
No, 20
Not
minutes.
21.
Like some of these celebrities are like, you know, oh my God, there's blue M&Ms here. I only wanted red, which I would totally be like if I was a fucking celebrity.
and you change it every place you go. No, this time it's the blue.
Yeah. All right.
You can buy them like that now, so it's not that difficult.
Really?
Yeah, you can.
No, that's
order
not.
them
I want
online?
someone to actually take
To
each
pick them
one.
out to separate. This is what I want you to do. I want you to dump out a family-sized bag of M&Ms and pick out exactly the brown ones. And I don't want to eat anything but the brown ones.
Just
and
like
next
the
time,
wedding
I'll
planner?
only have
No, here's what I would do, because I'm such a dick. Since you could buy blue and red, I would tell them to buy all the separate colors and then mix them together and then take out all of them except the blues.
Thank God we're not rich and famous. Man, you would be like horrible. Well, way more horrible than you are today.
All I'm asking for is a freaking boat so I can name it Yacht Murder to me. And this guy's over here like, I'm going to make them pick out all the M&M colors.
We're gonna get like a single, like a rowboat, and that will be Yacht Murder to me.
I'd be okay with that.
All right, at exactly 3:20. So he drops them off at exactly 0300, which is what, Nicole?
Sorry, what time?
0300.
0. Okay, 3 o'clock.
Good job. Proud of you.
Yeah. I was like -12. Wait, 3. You like no, that doesn't work.
The chauffeur drops the two off at exactly 0300, and 20 minutes later, so at 3:20 a.m., the chauffeur gets out of the car, grabs a leather bag that is inscribed on it PS for Phil Spector.
Right.
And then he hands it to Phil outside of the door. It is
That's
routine.
a
They
cool
always do
abbreviation.
Yes.
PS. I'm now NP, which is pretty cool. Like NP, no problem.
Yeah, I'm JK.
That is a good one too.
that. No, you're not. JC.
My middle initial is K.
I think you need to change your last name to Collins with K.
A lot of
Or
people,
I could be JC, just chilling.
well, a lot of people call
That's
me
true.
JC.
That works.
As Jesus Christ, their Lord.
I thought you were gonna say JC Shazay.
All right. Inside this leather bag was a DVD player, a cell phone, personal items, and a pack of blue pills.
Oh, like the little blue pill?
Yeah, which is what?
Viagra.
Bring.
I don't like that. Like you did that.
I just popped like 7 Viagra for the story, so
No.
this is gonna be kind of hard and throbbing. Wait. Jeez.
Hang on, I need to
That's
get some more
terrible.
alcohol.
I don't like that joke.
Do you need any more alcohol? I spoke to a police officer who told me the following. Several officers received a radio call to respond to 1700 South Grandview for a possible gunshot heard. Dispatch further advised that the caller's boss had a gun in his hand and a woman was shot inside the residence. 2 officers responded to the backside of the residence off Alta Vista and watched the back. The other officers set up a command post at the front of the residence off of Grandview. R. Souza gave them the further information, including a suspect description.
So that was from the forensic guy, Dr. Henry Lee. So, all right, let me talk about this Phil Spector for a second. I'm just going to go over his background. It's going to be really quick, okay? Because we're focusing here on the murder or, who was this dead woman? But I need to at least go over who this guy is. Phil Spector was a, quote, little man with lifts in his shoes, wig on top of his head, and 4 guns, end quote. That's what one of the people in the industry said. So he was born in the Bronx and he became a guitar player, piano player at a very early age. And he was considered a musical prodigy, even at an early age. He started playing guitar and he started a band at 17. Do you know the band's name by any chance?
Don't.
The band at 17 years old, he started this band called The Teddy Bears and they hit their one song top 1 of the Billboard Greatest Hits in 1958. The song was called To Know Him Is to Love Him. That was the engraving on his father's tombstone who committed suicide earlier. So this is him right here. Now let me talk about this really quick. This is I'm not going to dive into this, but Phil Spector is known for his wall of sound. Do you know what a wall of sound is? It's a technique. Now Phil Spector is known primarily as a producer, not a musician. Even though he's extremely talented as a musician, he is mostly known for his record producing.
Is he the one on the left? Yeah.
Yeah. Jen, do you know what the wall of sound is? That was his technique, and it is the thing that made him successful.
Is it when you can hear sound on both sides of your head?
No, that's called stereo, or in your case, schizophrenia.
That was pretty funny, actually. I mean, like, if it wasn't about Jen.
I know, it's okay. I'll take it. It's fine.
the technique, now he's a producer. It is really a technique of the time. Back then,
Another time.
Back then, there was pretty much only mono recordings, which, do you understand the difference between mono and stereo?
What
Yes.
Jen said.
So mono is mostly used for podcasting. I don't use it. I use stereo because I'm fucking, my favorite murder used stereo. So I do that. Anyway, so stereo is, and it's not going to sound, you're not going to be able to tell with this. Like, let's say a guitar is on the left side and the drums are on the right side. Stereo, you can hear out of both ears the position of where all the instruments and singers are in the studio.
Right. Can I ask a question?
That makes it more of a immersive experience.
Yes.
Like, for example, what I meant, but you can hear on both sides. Like, for example, the song "Green Eyed Lady," like
how it plays.
it goes through your brain. You're out the. That's what I was talking about when I meant on both sides.
But it's actually like it's how they record. Yeah.
It sounds like it's going through your head. And it's the coolest thing ever.
The
But
reason
that's recording in stereo.
the reason you don't, so
If it was mono, you would hear the same thing in both.
the
Right.
exact same thing, which our podcast is like that. Ours is dual stereo, so it's stereo signal in both ears. Now, and stereo being, all right, so if I'm over here,
'Cause if
it's going to be more of your right ear hearing it.
I know what you
left
mean.
ear
Like
hearing
certain songs, if you were to hear, like take your headphone away like this,
it. Yeah.
or you would not hear certain notes.
Yeah, exactly.
No, what I'm talking about is that specific example. It like sounds like it's going through your
But
body.
it's because certain things are only playing. It's because it's recorded in stereo.
Right, or like for example, like when Lady Gaga's song "Just Dance," half psychotic, sick, hypnotic.
Well, now they
it's
do
like
it-
going back and forth.
Yeah, and that is because it's
stereo.
truly going back and forth in the
right.
left and right.
Well, it's two different recordings. It's not just the one lyric.
Right, and it's playing. One is only going in the left.
Yeah.
One's on the
All right, so
We're
tell me
saying the
about
same
this.
thing.
Okay,
The reason most podcasts recorded in mono is because if we're talking on the microphones and then you move your head and your sound gets picked up more on the left side than the right side, that's not good for people who, let's say, are at work and just listening with one earphone or whatever. That's why you have to have the same kind of sound in both ears. But I want to say Phil Spector did not record in stereo. He abhorred the use of stereo. He thought it was an abomination when that method of recording came out. And he
did
used...
you think it was too non-traditional? Like,
No, he thought it was fake, which it kind of is. So stereo, it's like a fake immersive experience. Like, okay, but it's not real. He used this thing called the wall of sound for his, which in all of his, all the artists he produces with, he'll be in a studio and he'll layer several instruments. Let's say there's one guitar player for a band. Okay, you're playing this one riff. Well, let's call in 5 more guitar players and all play that same thing at the same time. It gives us this bigger dimension of sound, and he does that with every instrument. So he'll have
so it's like a chorus, but with
yeah,
instruments.
exactly. Yeah. So for singers, and if you hear like the Ronettes song and stuff like that, and the Tina Turners and stuff back in the day, there's a
Ronettes
reason.
and Tina Turner are not in the same
Well,
period.
well,
but
He produced for Tina Turner.
Well, I'm
did.
saying like what Phil Spector produced, you can tell because it's like right there, but that's because it's so much sound. And he would actually do this weird thing. He would only record at the Los Angeles Gold Star studio because it had this large echo chamber. And here I'm going to show you kind of what I'm talking about with this. It's kind of crazy. So here's the studio. You see it's very large, and the sound will bounce off everywhere, which normally is not a good thing. You wouldn't want that, but he had a different technique of doing it with this studio. And that was, he would set up hundreds of microphones. He would let the instruments play. He would let the singers sing, and he wouldn't capture the sound. He would actually let them sing, let it reverb, send it into a microphone, and then send it back out, the signal back out into the echo chamber again. And then once it bounces back again, that's when he'll record it to tape. So, I mean, unless you're an audiophile, you're really not going to notice it, but you can definitely tell if you are. Some of the really old songs that he produced were mastered at a different level than others. They just sounded like they were just right there. And at the time, that was revolutionary. This was like before stereo, like I said, and stereo is kind of like a cop-out or whatever. This was revolutionary at the time. And now it's not, which is kind of why he washed out, right? Because once stereo and stuff like that, and then, he puts out this technique and people copy it, and now everyone can kind of do it. You know what I'm saying? He's not not really a musician. He's a producer.
Right.
But still, you would think okay, never mind. He's a producer, so if everyone wants to go the stereo route, he's on his own. People are like, oh, I want to go with cutting edge.
Well, yeah, because think about it. If you're a band,
I get it.
If you're a band, okay, you got to hire 10 guitar players to do a layer sound. Like, okay, I mean,
so by the time
that's a lot of money.
this breaks, he is on the outs in the music industry.
Well, no, during this time, he was the biggest thing in music. Now, but this only lasted for like 20 years. But I'm talking about during this time, 2003. Yeah,
Okay.
he's washed out.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Got it. Technique wise.
The software nowadays with the computers, like for instance, there's plugins and software that I can make it sound like the whole Abbey Road freaking album if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like things are just so advanced nowadays. Like you don't need a producer like this anymore because you're not going to be able to tell really unless you're an audiophile and you're just sitting there with these $1,000 headphones. Does that make sense? Anyway, So he produced records for Tina Turner, Cher, the Ramones, and more people. He even produced the Beatles' Imagine album.
That's John Lennon. That's not the
Yeah,
Beatles.
the John Lennon.
Sorry, I as a Beatles fan, I have to correct.
That's a big accolade, though, for like that's a big album to have under his belt.
Yeah, the Imagine album is like one of the most sold. The real title, the extended title.
Don't do it. I know you're gonna make a joke.
He's not.
I'm not. There's the extended title is Imagine If We Made Decent Music.
Why did you believe in him?
Yeah, what the
for
fuck?
That?
Like, there's an extended title. Like, what the fuck?
I can't believe you, Jen, that you think he would compliment your most idolized
Because it didn't sound
musician of all time.
It didn't sound like a compliment. It sounded like a fact. Because I thought he would not sacrifice the dignity of his podcast to make a joke at the expense of the Beatles.
The Beatles blow
But it
dick,
wasn't even
yo.
the Beatles. It was just John Lennon. John Lennon.
He is one of the greatest musicians of all time.
Yoko Ono is the greatest musician.
Oh my God!
Listen,
Don't-
no.
okay.
But John Lennon produced. I'm not
Like,
arguing.
let me do a face off.
No. I'm fine. John Lennon produced that album.
No, he didn't. Phil Spector produced it.
That was John Lennon.
He wrote. He was the writer.
Sorry, this is a champagne talk. No, that was John Lennon's album. That wasn't a Beatles album. That was after the Beatles had broken up already.
One of
right.
the greatest musicians of all time.
And his message.
You know who's a great musician? Dave Mustaine from Megadeth. You know he produced.
Keep going.
He wrote Symphony of
It is my
Destruction.
birthday. I decree it.
Tis on this
Tis what I
day.
proclaimed.
Tis what she proclaimed. On this
I
day,
have
the
not
anniversary
said
of her
that.
birth, she decreed that he shall stop. Cheers.
If I'm gonna pull it once today, it's for that.
If
right.
we get a decree on our birthday, I want to start doing that now that we get
All right.
one decree.
Let me get a stamp.
That's the last I'm talking about Phil Spector, right?
Okay.
Let's talk about the victim and then let's go the horrible way her body was founded. I know that's what you want to do anyway. So
We're here for the gruesome. Yes.
Lana Clarkson, she is an actress. She was the one that was found dead on the marble floor. She was Marilyn Monroe inspired. However, she was over 40 and I guess in Hollywood,
That's old.
you done.
I would be an old broad at 32.
But-
40 is a new 30 in Hollywood.
But-
I mean, Hollywood actors are older than we are, and they're still
but they
beautiful.
they can also afford thousands and thousands and thousands.
I'd rather
of
be natural.
surgeries.
Like, I'd rather be natural than look plastic.
and plumpers.
So this is
You
her
don't need
right
any
here.
of that. You gorgeous.
This is her right here, Lana Clarkson. She is most known for her roles in B movies.
She kind of looks like Michelle Pfeiffer.
She was in Knight Rider, Who's the Boss, The A-Team.
More like Busy Phillips to me. An older Busy Phillips.
She actually does appear topless. If you see my search history, I looked it up. She does do a topless role. Just kidding.
Isn't there there's a website that you can look up any movie to see where the
Yeah,
topless scenes
Mr.
are.
Skin, yeah.
where the nips are, I think.
B-rated movie actress. However, she was a very hard worker. She was past her prime, and in Hollywood, that means she's not going to get the top roles anymore. She started doing pinups, which now, it's literally now, and I'm not making a joke, it is literally the equivalent of doing OnlyFans at this point. Once you hit that point, or being a stripper or something, once you hit that point, you can't really go back. I'm not trying to make a joke, but a famous actress or an actress, inspiring actress, she goes down that road, you know what I'm saying? And now it's kind of,
Show a tit or some vag, and now you're in a whole new
yeah.
ball game.
So
You don't have to show your tits or your vag bad, you can go to feetfinder.com and sell pictures of your feet.
I think I'm missing out. I feel like I'm leaving dollars on the table by not on Feet Finder.
Lana Clarkson. Now she was a hustler. I definitely admire her because she was always networking. You always knew she was in the room. She was always talking to this person, that person. Oh, Phil Spector's here. Let me talk to her. She's networking. But she wasn't afraid to take even the waitress jobs or whatever. She'll do little car washes and stuff like that. She was a hustler. And it's just so sad that she was past her prime. But honestly, from being a content creator for all these years, I started to realize that you really have to be the first in whatever you do. So if you're trying to be like Marilyn Monroe, there was already a Marilyn Monroe. Does that make sense? So you're not going to actually get to that same height as her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's already a My Favorite Murder. Like, why?
Yeah. But
Why bother?
speaking of Marilyn Monroe, did you guys know that they released a bunch of, they declassified a bunch more of the JFK documents?
More since the summer?
Just recently.
On February 4th, the day after the killing, authorities searched Clarkson's website where they learned of her admiration of Marilyn Monroe. This is not to imply, she wrote in one posting, that I wish to live the sort of lonely, narcotic-shrouded existence she did. What I love about her is her essence, her work, and her commitment to it. I have been blessed to work in an extremely difficult industry, but my opinion have not even begun to reach my full potential. I have a pounding in my head against plexiglass ceiling trying to break through to a completely different level for a while now. God willing, this is the year it will happen. Keep your eye out for a new quality of work from Miss Clarkson.
Interesting that she used the term plexiglass ceiling. Does that mean because it was harder for her to break through than the regular glass ceiling because glass is more fragile than plexiglass?
Yeah, like I said, she's over 40, and apparently that's the thing in Hollywood. All right, let's talk about her body because she wanted to be famous, and this story really isn't that famous. It's crazy, But anyway, let's talk about how her body was. The police get there.
Oh, got it. I thought you meant like in general while she was alive. I'm like, why are we talking about that?
I'm talking about her corpse. Let's talk about her corpse. So the police get at the house. We're going back to the house of the night. The chauffeur actually jumped in Phil's car and he drove down out the gate. He actually called the secretary, Phil Spector's secretary first, asked why he did that is because he didn't know the house address. But she didn't pick up anyway. Then he immediately called the police. They get there and there's this whole weird thing we're going to go over about him not wanting to give himself up to be arrested. We're going to go over that. But Lana, she was sitting on a chair, dead, no pulse. Her body was, from what the forensic pathologist and the coroner would later surmise, the body was actually moved there and positioned. Quote, blood had drained from her ears, mouth, and nose, that her skin was cool to the touch, and that she showed no signs of life, end quote. That's what the emergency tech said. So she was shot, that one gunshot. By the body, there was a small caliber revolver with a brown wooden handle, and it laid next to her calf. And this is the photo here. I'll put these on talkmurder.com if you want to describe that.
It looks like she's wearing stockings, like tights, and that's along her leg.
So let me go back for a second. Let me have you think about this. What did the chauffeur see when Phil Spector opened the door?
Legs.
Well, yeah,
Blood.
yeah. But what was Phil Spector holding?
A gun.
A gun. But yet the gun is right here.
Well, that's
Oh.
weird.
Exactly.
Are there two different guns?
Gun, the gun, the gun, the gun. Oh, yes, we both for the gun, Chicago.
This is the gun right here. It is a beautiful gun. It reminds me of a lot of the 44 caliber, but this is a small caliber right here. This is a 38 special. It's a Colt Cobra. It's got a snub nose barrel, which reminds me of the 44. I think this is a beautiful looking gun. You see the rounds
It's tiny.
here?
Yeah, a little short.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's one that ladies would keep in their purses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But 38 special, it's a pretty, it'll kill you. I mean,
Hold
obviously.
on loosely.
This is the Colt Cobra right here. As you see, there are 5 live rounds right here and then 1 spent round. This is a 6-shooter revolver with 1 round spent. Okay, so that's the actual murder weapon right there. Now, this is another photo of her and the gun, kind of a...
Mary Jane
I
Zom.
was just going to say that.
She's got what?
Mary Jane's. The type of shoe.
Yeah, she does. I actually wrote that. Yeah, black Mary Jane shoes.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I don't understand what that was.
It's where the strap.
I was like,
it's where the strap is not around the ankle, but across the foot.
Yes.
I was like, hopefully these women know what the fuck that is.
You know what? I used to wear saddle shoes when I was in school. Not in high school, but like in elementary school. My mom got me saddle shoes.
Did you wear that thing that Tom Hanks wore in Forrest Gump with the legs?
You mean like...
Wow. That's pretty terrible. Why would you assume that? Because I'm not smart,
shit, it's
like
true?
Forrest Gump?
Forrest Gump was smart. I mean, in his own way, like a box of chocolate smart. So this is some of the photos I'm kind of going over here. This is the foyer where she was found.
Oh,
look at that
red carpet.
gross carpet. This was in 2003.
It's like they wanted it to be a red carpet all
like,
the time.
Yeah, like the Emmys or the Oscars at your house. I don't like that.
I do want to say that, so this is 2003. That house Phil Spector bought for $1.1 million, which is a lot of money to us. But is it to, like a movie star?
When
It
did he
depends
buy
on
it?
how
In
much you have
1998.
in your bank.
1998.
For
But
$1 million?
Yeah.
Yeah, $1 million.
That's still like, that's like,
And
Probably a $3 to $4 million house.
But
today,
it's not,
right?
but the location is not in Hollywood.
Right.
It's actually, so he actually said a
I'd
quote
say it's
about it.
probably like $6 million today.
You think?
Yeah, because of the crime and also because of inflation. I'd say that's probably a $1 million
I wasn't
house.
considering the crime.
A $1 million house back then in the 80s in California is probably equivalent to me the price that I bought my house for.
That's cray.
In an interview with Esquire magazine about the house, he said, quote, "A beautiful and enchanting castle in a hick town where there is no place to go that you shouldn't go," end quote. The castle, he called it the castle, the Pyrenees Castle. It was built in 1926. I mean, obviously, that carpet's terrible. And look, carpet in the bathroom.
Don't like that. Oh, and a red toilet.
Red toilet.
Oh, dear.
Don't like it.
I
No.
mean, when we bought this house, it had carpet in the bathroom.
If you have bloody shit, I hate that word. Why did I say that?
And the toilet over here had a wooden toilet seat. Did you know?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was bad. This house was oogly.
Yeah, it was.
Oogly.
You've done
when
so
we
much
bought
to
it.
this house. I'm getting toilets for Christmas.
That's a good gift. I don't regret the new toilets that we have gotten.
Are you gonna poop in them?
Because, there's something to be said about the appropriate height of a toilet.
Yeah,
Okay, all
I'm
right,
getting
can
chair
we-
height.
can we-
I have tiny toilets.
I know you do.
That sounds like a
It
personal
will,
problem. All right.
it will make a world of a difference.
I know. My back home we have regular sized toilets.
Telling you, girl.
There,
Made it.
there was blood on the grip and the trigger guard. But as you see here, oh, well, you can't see the blood right here.
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Man, this red carpet's got to go. But yeah, you
Needs
can
to
see the
go.
blood here.
Too bad it wasn't like blood red. It's just red. I feel like you would still be able to see blood stains on that carpet.
So there was blood on the grip and the trigger guard and the right side of the cylinder. The location of the blood is going to be important. She was pronounced dead at 6:25 a.m. So this beautiful actress, a little over 40, couldn't really jumpstart her career again. Goes to Phil Spector's house. A few hours later, boom, a blast goes off. She's dead. So did he do it or not? That's what we're going to decide.
Tune in tomorrow morning for part 2 and hear the shocking conclusion of this Hollywood murder. Visit us on the World Wide Web at talkmurder.com to see the uncensored evidence photos from this case.